So it's been about a week since the 6-1 Indie Showcase May 2025 premiered on YouTube, on IGN, and here I am after digesting all of the games, all 48 games that were announced. I'm now ready to stand here and give you all an idea of some of my favorites that came out of the showcase. So ones that I'm really looking forward to playing in the future. There are some games that are already out. A lot of these games from the showcase also have demos available. And of course, for all of that, you can head over to 61indie.com/showcase so that you can see the full list of all of the games that were in the showcase itself. But for me, I'm going to be talking about the ones that excited me the most, or the ones that looked really interesting and I'm a little bit curious about. So I've got them on my wish list and I am really keen to check them out. I'm hoping that I'll be able to play some of the demos for these games that were part of the showcase. And I will mention the ones that do have demos from my list. I will also preface that I am not very good at explaining what the games are about, so I will be reading the developer descriptions from their Steam pages just so that I'm not saying anything incorrectly or, I don't want to give you guys, the wrong information about a certain game. So I'm just going to be referencing the Steam store pages for pretty much all the games I'm going to be mentioning in this particular episode of the Many Thoughts I Have. So buckle up and get your keyboards or pens and papers ready because these are the games that I have a keen interest in. And there are some games from this list that have already been announced before the showcase even happened, and like from a different showcase, or maybe the developers or the publishers have already announced these games before. So they just got a bit more of a spotlight here at the 6-1 Indie Showcase. But yeah, there's a lot from this particular show that I really enjoyed. I'm going to start off with some of the games, maybe it's not some, couple of the games that were part of PT's pre-show, which was like the 10 minutes prior to the main showcase starting. And first of all, big shout out to PT. He is an awesome pigeon. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of PT. Yes, hello. So without further ado, I've only got 2 games here that were from PT's pre-show. And these are games that are already out now. They've been released. So you can actually go and buy them right now if you choose to. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is for a game called Goo Goo Pizza, delivering pizza to the space station. Boss, this is just not right. What a title, first of all. That title blew my mind. I thought it was just called Goo Goo Pizza, and that was it. But now that I had a chance to look at the Steam store page, it actually has a big title, like a full title. So the main title obviously is Goo Goo Pizza, but then you've got like a subtitle which is delivering pizza to the space station. Boss, this is just not right. That title already means there's going to be some sort of chaos happening. And boy, was I right, because you are a pigeon delivering pizza in this 2D 3D-ish, I'm going to say it's 2.5D more like. It's a 2.5D platformer, and it looks chaotic, it looks fun, I feel like I'm going to be laughing my way through playing this game, or I might end up, I don't know, maybe raging a little bit every time I make a mistake while playing this. It just looks like so much fun. I feel like I'm going to be laughing a lot. The Steam description reads, Goo Goo Pizza's motto is to deliver anywhere. So couldn't refuse their pineapple pizza order that came from the space station. Eventually, the pigeon delivery man begins a high-altitude jump to deliver pizza to space, passing through the city, forest, and sky. So, by the sounds of things, it sounds like we're trying to deliver pizza into outer space. So someone from the space station has ordered pizza, and this little pigeon needs to get there somehow. So I feel like this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. It is developed and published by Anomaly Guys, and yeah, the trailer itself, like, I will preface, please go and watch the trailers for these particular games that I'm going to be mentioning, because describing them is not going to do it justice. You need to see the visuals for a lot of these games. And Goo Goo Pizza is one of those, because just seeing this cute little pigeon trying to carry, like, I don't know, I think it's like 5 or 6 boxes of pizza, and just trying to platform with it as well, it just seems like it's going to be so chaotic. You're going to be hit by a lot of different obstacles, like vehicles, including, trains and trams and cars. You're going to be walking across electrical wires that are, high voltage, obviously, and you have to make sure to avoid any of the sparks. And every time the pigeon gets hit, it has this facial expression that just is so hilarious. It's like so over the top. And I love it so much. And I think this is one of those games that I feel like I need to get around to playing just to have a laugh, really. So this is definitely on my wish list. It is out right now. It came out back in January of this year. So please go check out Goo Goo Pizza. There have been a lot of very positive reviews for this game. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It also seems like it's a very cheap game, under $10. So it's definitely going to be well worth your money and your time, I believe. So go check it out. And the second game that I want to mention that was from PD's pre-show is for a game called Layla. Now, this one's art style actually caught my eye. It is hand-drawn art. It is very story-rich. It's a point-and-click game. And the story itself from the trailer just looks really interesting. I'll read the description to you. Layla is a heartfelt, hand-animated narrative game about the small yet significant struggles we all face. Solve story-driven puzzles, relive fragile memories, and discover a deeply personal journey that may feel more familiar than you expect. Now, on the opposite spectrum of what Goo Goo Pizzas is, Layla looks like it's going to be quite the emotional roller coaster of a game. As you sort of journey through this story in terms of like memories and things that, like a lot of emotions that would have been built up in this character's life. Some of them you might feel like they're relatable to you. A lot of the images that I saw in the trailer just made me think about mental health a little bit, in terms of all of the different things that we think about, like anxiety or like depression kind of moments that we have, things in terms of our appearance, like we think about the way our bodies look. It's just in that sort of respect, that's what the images in the trailer kind of depicted to me. And I feel like I'm really going to end up getting hit in the feels with this one. So I'm actually really looking forward to having a look at this. It's been developed and published by Ubique Studios, and it came out back in April of this year. So I would definitely check it out if you're the type of person who enjoys story-rich point-and-click kind of visual novels. But just in general, I will say the art style of this game just looks very, very pretty. As I said, it is and the description also says this, it's hand-drawn, hand-animated, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And just very pretty in its own way. And I love the look of it. So I'm definitely keen to check this out at some point. Go check out Layla. And it, again, another cheap game as well. So I feel like this is going to be another short game. So please go and support the devs and check out Layla. Okay, so from the main showcase itself, I have gone through and wishlisted all of the other games that I'm very, very curious about or that I'm really interested in. And they're definitely my style of gaming. There are a few games on this list that I didn't think I would be interested in, but some of the, like maybe the genre or the game mechanics just piqued my interest a little bit when I saw the trailers for each of these games. And I was just really curious. So I added them to my wish list with the hopes of playing a demo if there is one available. So the first one that I will just shout out here right now is for a game called Jump the Track. Now, I had this game in my wish list originally after watching the showcase. I was so interested because this game, Jump the Track, just looks like it's going to be so much fun. It's a comedy, it's a visual novel, choices matter, and I love choices matter games. If you weren't aware of my game of the year for my year, last year, 2024, I ended up picking Harmony, The Fall of Reverie as my game of the year because even though it didn't come out last year, I ended up playing it last year and it really struck a chord with me. I really loved it so much. And I couldn't stop talking about it last year. And that game itself is also a Choices Matter game. So when I heard that Jump the Track was that style of, like in that genre as well, I was immediately intrigued just from that aspect. But then it says that in order to unlock certain dialogue, like emotional dialogue, you have to play a game board of Peggle or Pachinko, if you will, in order to unlock the dialogue that gives you more options, more choices. Even if you don't end up hitting, because you have to hit all of the pegs for that particular choice, for that particular dialogue, in order to choose it as an option when continuing through the story. So a lot of the times, because the ball is just randomly flying everywhere, you may not unlock the dialogue you want, and you may just be stuck with the base dialogue, which I will say is also still awesome. Oh, by the way, did I mention the fact that the publishers gave me a Steam key for this to check out? I should have mentioned that first. I feel like I'm just jumping into it knowing what to expect already from the game. I should have mentioned before I got into this little rant of mine. So I was lucky enough to be provided with a Steam key for this. If you want to check out the gameplay for yourself, I have a video up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/FulishFuji. And it's like the first maybe 50-ish minutes, 55 minutes of the game itself in terms of its story. So it is a good chunk of it. The only reason why it's a big chunk of the game is because I just there was no real point where I could pause the game in terms of what's a good spot in the story that I can stop. So I kind of had to figure out a good spot to pause the story for the video itself. So I hope it doesn't spoil too much for you all, but it is another short game, just so that you are aware. So it is actually quite a decently priced game as well. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. But the Steam store page description reads, "You're Sam, a young dreamer struggling in the gig economy. However, tonight may change everything. In this absurd comedy, fight your inner battles, rally your forces, and get ready to overthrow the system." Now, this game has just released. At the time of recording, it released today. So you can go and buy it and play it right now on Steam. It is developed and published by Seed. And let me just tell you, this is... I've already started raving about it. I'm going to continue raving about it. It is so much fun. There's some great dialogue in this story, and it's actually hilarious. I have never laughed so much playing through a visual novel. A lot of the visual novels I've played in the past have been very more on the drama side, very emotional side. This one is very it's almost like it's a comic book kind of a thing, like a comic book video in a way, and I kind of love that about this. The visual art is also really striking. It's quite unique for me. There's a lot of neon colors that really pop throughout, and you do also get a couple some cutscenes here and there as well in between dialogue. And yeah, it is so much fun. I've still got a ways away before I finished this game. Even though I said it's short, it's roughly about 3 hours long, according to the developers. And I think I've only just played through maybe a quarter of it or maybe a third of it. And yeah, it's the Peggle aspect of the game makes the dialogue choices, the experience of trying to get those dialogue choices more entertaining. It gets you to be a little bit more strategic on where you launch your ball. When you because you start off with 6 balls, depending on the Peggle board that you have to choose dialogue for. But then there are action boards as well, so it's not necessarily about the dialogue, but you will also end up playing through some Peggle boards to complete actions. So in the video, you'll see there's an action board where our lead character, Sam, is doing a little bit of knitting. And so you play a few rounds of Peggle to, the more points you get, the better dialogue you're going to get, the more positive it is for the lead character in terms of them completing their task. And sometimes you don't always get the highest scores, or because it'll give you a score to beat. And so in order to beat it, you play the Peggle board and then you just rack up some points. And then if you don't end up racking up enough points, you'll get dialogue according to that as well. So it's really, really fun. I absolutely adore this game, and I really want to finish it as soon as I can because it's so much fun. I'm loving it so much. There you go. There's my little quick review of Jump the Track for you all. Please go check it out. Go support the developers. It is available right now on Steam, and just, yeah, absolutely fun. The next game on my list from the main show is for a game called Oscuro Blossoms Glow, and this is being developed and published by Hongon On. I believe that's the pronunciation. I could be wrong, so I apologize. There is no release date yet. It's at the moment set for a 2025 release, so it could be later down the track of this year. And just by looking at the trailer for the game, it looks really cool. My first thought when I saw the trailer for the game was that it kind of looked similar to a game called Hoa. And Hoa is kind of similar in the sense that it's a 2D platformer, just like Obscuro is. And the art style just kind of made me think of Hoa as well, even though it's made by completely different developers. But it sort of gave me that vibe. And I love the look of this. It's a puzzle platformer by the look of it. It looks really cute. The colors are quite muted unless you come across the sort of like the glowing lights of some of the plant life in the game. But it's just the art style still looks very beautiful to me. I love the look of it, and the animations of a lot of the characters and the creatures that you see in this game looks really cool. I'll read the description for you all. Join Celine in a charming platforming and puzzle adventure where her ability to absorb and emit light from various flowers is key to activating mechanisms, overcoming obstacles, and navigating through environments that adjust depending on how you wield the light. So yeah, this game just looks really, really pretty. And I'm a sucker for a puzzle platformer. I really enjoy them. I think the last one I played was for The Last Campfire. Really enjoyed that as well. And yeah, this just definitely looks like it's right up my alley. I love little adventure platformer games with elements of puzzle as well. And yeah, like I said, the art style just looks really cool. I really love the look of it. It is on Steam at the moment. I'm not sure if it's coming to any other platform, but there is a demo available for this game if you would like to get an idea of what to expect. So go and check out the demo, support the developers, let them know that you're interested, and wishlist the game if this is a game for you. All right, so the next game in my list that came out at 6-1 Indie Showcase is for a game called Anatine. Now, this is a game that I wasn't sure that I would be interested in because this is a Metroidvania game, and I'm not really big on Metroidvanias myself. But immediately when I saw the character that you'll be playing as, I was very interested, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to wishlist this game anyway because it looks like it could be fun, and the character that you're playing as is a duck. It looks so cool. The enemies that you'll be facing look like they're going to be absolute beasts, and there's going to be some boss battles as well. And yeah, it just looks like it's going to be really cute. It's pixel graphics, 2D action, Metroidvania. And the description reads, Anatine is a pixelated Metroidvania game that contains organic musical elements. Play the flute to interact with the environment or unleash powerful magic. In the dangerous world of Avinus, Avinus? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Battle against the Eidolons and confront powerful enemies to uncover the many secrets of this lost world. It's being developed by Pixel Trash and published by Astrolabe Games. There is no release date yet. However, it says it's coming soon. I'm just not sure how soon. So maybe wishlist it and you will find out for yourselves. It is coming to Steam and it just looks really, really cool. Looks like it's going to be good fun. There's lots of slime. creatures that you'll be battling and just like other different types of monsters. And yeah, pixel graphics. I love the look of it. So if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, I would definitely recommend jumping in onto Steam and wishlisting Anatine. And just, yeah, hopefully for me, I hope there is a demo later down the track. Maybe during Summer Games Fest, who knows? That's coming up very, very soon. And yeah, I really hope that there's going to be a demo for this, because I myself am not 100% sure if I'm going to be that into it. But I'm still keen on trying it at least, just to see whether or not I might enjoy it. But yeah, for me, I need a demo before I can, dive into buying it outright. So yeah, Anatine, go check it out. Artist Impact is next up on my list, and it is being developed and published by Mass, so MAS, Mass. They already have a release date for this. It is coming on the 7th of August on 2025. So yeah, not too long, maybe 2-ish months roughly from now. Oh, by the way, the dates that I'm reading out will be in Australian time. So for those of you in North America, just, the day before for you. I'm just saying it my time because that's how Steam is presenting it to me. So yeah, 7th of August, 2025. And this is actually a really interesting looking game. Another pixel graphic style game. It's a JRPG. It's very lore rich as well. And the description reads, a fun turn-based RPG set in a future world of humans and AI. Play as a Kane to explore vibrant locations, battle with simple yet fluid combat, and enjoy side quests full of charming surprises. With a playful, humorous style and clever details, this adventure is light, easy, and full of smiles. So, just from reading that description, I am already saying yes, please. I love the sound of that. The art style just looks really, really pretty to me, especially when they go to like little cutscenes, when it's not pixel graphic. And it's very stylistic, I will say. The art style is very stylistic. That's the word I'm going to use here. It's just gorgeous. I love the look of it. It's the gameplay is top-down view for when you're sort of adventuring through the areas of the world. But yeah, I am slowly getting into RPGs here and there, and I don't mind playing RPGs as long as they're not too long. I find that really long RPGs, especially those really big AAA ones, the AAA RPGs, kind of like, Persona 5 kind of length, they intimidate me so much that it stops me from wanting to play those games just because of how long they are. So for me, if I can get away with playing an RPG that's less than 50 hours, preferably less than 30 hours, I will be happy to play them. And I feel like Artist Impact is going to be on the shorter end of the scale in terms of length, but it just looks really cool. I have been kind of dabbling in a couple of other RPGs. There was one other indie RPG that I will mention called Battle Cakes that I had come across during a Wholesome Direct maybe a couple of years ago. And I actually ended up playing it a little bit this year. And it's actually very amusing, very colorful. And you're like, the world of the characters in that world are all cakes. So it's actually quite fun and just whimsical. And very quirky as well. And it's also a comedy because the dialogue is just hilarious. It cracks me up so much. But with Artist Impact, I feel like this is definitely going to be a little bit less of the whimsical, but still going to be kind of an emotional ride as well, but still good. And I'm keen to check it out. There is a demo available for Artist Impact. So, if you're interested in actually checking it out, please go and have a look at the demo and give it a wish list. I've got the demo in my library. I am keen to play it just to see whether or not I will enjoy it, but I am keen for Artist Impact. Speaking of RPGs, we've got another one on the list here. I don't know why I'm adding all these RPGs, but this is for a game called Rue Valley. And this is a point-and-click adventure RPG. It's very story-rich. And I'll just read the description for you. Rue Valley is a narrative RPG about a man trapped in a time loop, surrounded by a colorful cast with complex emotional stories, each hiding unexpected secrets. Dealing with mental challenges, the main character must rise from the depths, delving into the anomaly to uncover its enigmatic origins. Rue Valley is being developed by Emotion Spark Studio and published by Owlcat Games. And there is a demo for this game. So if you're at all interested in anything that I've just read out here about Rue Valley, go check out the demo. I have the demo in my library for this game, and here's the thing. Rue Valley actually looks quite dark. So when you look at the art style of it, it's a top-down view. It's very, the art style looks very comic book-like in terms of its visual art. And, but it just looks, it's more on the darker side. It's it's got lots of sharp lines, and yeah, it just looks really cool. And yeah, time loop. I'm not sure that I'm the type of person that goes out of her way to play games that has time loops as a mechanic in the game, but I'd be willing to give it a go. And especially because if it's got a really cool story behind it, I definitely would be willing to just to see where it goes. So yeah, Rue Valley, available soon. It's coming soon. There's no release date yet, but it says coming soon. It's currently on Steam, so go check out the demo, give it a wish list, and support the developers. Again, with the RPG, I can't believe the many RPGs that I'm adding from this showcase. But they look really cool. So, how can you blame me? So the next game I'm going to be talking about here from my list is Petal Runner. And Petal Runner is, again, it's an RPG. There's bikes involved. And when I say bikes, I mean motorbikes. A lot of exploration and pixel graphics. And it's got a cute little Tamagotchi in it as well. So that already piques my interest because I grew up in the era of Tamagotchis. And it's got a specific color scheme to it. Lots of purples and pinks and yellows. And so it looks really cute. Let me read the description for you. Hop on your bike and join Callie and Kira as they explore the sun-soaked city of Sapphire Valley and train to become petal runners. Make deliveries, meet new friends, play mini games, and discover a wholesome slice of life story about growing up and letting go. I could definitely use that. That definitely sounds like a game for me. I love the sound of this game, the look of this game. It's just, the colors really pop. as well on the screen. And yeah, like I think the Tamagotchi kind of got me a little bit. I feel like that's going to be part of the mini game side of things. It just looks so cool. I love the look of it. It is being published. Sorry. Pedal Runner is being developed by Nanopark Studios and published by IM8-Bit Presents. So I think this is going to be a good looking game. It's got some really cool looking cutscenes as well. So very sort of anime style in terms of its animations. But the pixel graphics in the gameplay just look adorable. And yeah, just very striking color scheme, I will say. Just, pink, purple, and yellow. Again, it's a really cool looking color scheme. But yeah, there's no release date yet, so that is to be announced. No demo either, but I'm chomping at the bit to actually play a demo for this if they ever bring one out. So even if it's just like a little snippet, like a prologue or something, I'll be all over it. I want to play it. I'm keen. All right, we are venturing out of the RPG side of games, and we're venturing in to some musical ones. And this one is called Future Vibe Check, and it is being developed by Unwised, published by Akupara Games. And Future Vibe Check is a musical automation game where your factories don't just produce goods, they make music. Summoned by infinity, you must rebuild reality. The call of endless optimization will be sublimated into sound, automate the vibe, defend the vibe, become the vibe. Currently no release date for this one, but it is coming soon. There is a demo available for it, and I will also mention I have played the demo because the second I heard about this, and I did do a reaction video for the Cardboard Gaming YouTube channel, because I am also the host of the Mini Indie Van podcast over at Carpool Gaming. And I did a little reaction video for the 6-1 Indie Showcase. So if you want to go check that out, please head over to youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. The second I saw and heard the trailer, my ears just perked up, my eyes widened. I was so keen to check this game out. But here's the thing. The first thing they mentioned, because the developer was presenting their game on the showcase, and they said that it is very similar to Factorio and Satisfactory. So they're very heavy on the automation management side of the game. But the thing that really got me wanting to check it out was the fact that it was a rhythm-based automation management game. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, because I have played automation games in the past, but nothing as technical as Satisfactory or Factorio. I feel those specific games, they look so intricate and detailed and very intimidating. Not to mention the fact that you really need to, it's a very thinky game. You have to be very strategic on where you place everything for it to all work in your favor so that the machine works properly. And Future Vibe Check is going to pretty much be exactly that, but with music. I will say it looks really cool. So I did mention I played the demo for this game. It is available still. You can go check it out. And I would highly recommend you check out the demo as well, because you don't even know whether you're going to like this. You may like those style of automation games, but you may not quote unquote vibe with this. No pun intended. You may not vibe with it. So I played the demo. I ended up sort of like the vast majority of the first maybe hour or so of the demo. it is the tutorial to the game. Now, you do have the option to not play through the tutorial and just do your own thing and be creative and just work it out for yourself. I needed a little guidance because I had no idea what I was going to get myself into. So I thought, rather than feeling lost, let me just play let me play the demo with the instructions, with the tutorial dialogue. And even though it does sort of stop the flow of actually, continuing to build on your automations, at least for me, it gave me an idea of how it was going to work and what each element did. And it's kind of also like a story as well. The tutorial is kind of giving you a bit of the story of where this all sort of goes. And it's also, quite funny because you've got an otter named DJ Otter talking to you, explaining how things work and kind of trying to get you to help them get out of this world. But there are, other mystical things happening in there. Like I think there's like some form of God that also speaks to you. So it's really fascinating, and it kind of uses a lot of like there's a lot of like traditions and things from other religions that they've brought into this game. Like for instance, like chakras from like Indian traditions. And which is really cool because it's kind of how you level up in the game as well. There's other elements in there that I don't think I've really touched on, but even after playing for about an hour, I didn't really get too far into much of the automations because I was feeling a little overwhelmed with the game, especially because of the way that you have to structure the like where all the elements need to be placed in order for the beats to work so that you can create the music. So for me, it was a little overwhelming, and my brain just wasn't handling the strategy side of it. Let's just put it that way. So even though this is actually really cool, I'm glad I was able to at least play the demo and just get an idea of what to expect from Future Vibe Check. I will probably end up just sitting back and watching other people play this, those who are actually more well-versed in the automation management style games. But I am not one of them. This just looks like it's going to be a bit too much for me. But again, I'm just saying it looks really, really cool. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be my style of game because I'll probably end up getting a little too frustrated. And I don't want to do that because the game looks awesome. And I know there's going to be a lot of you out there who are going to really enjoy this. So definitely go check out Future Vibe Check. Wishlist it. It'll be coming soon, hopefully. And yeah, again, there is a demo, so go check it out. Moving out of the music genre and moving in to some roguelike and little 2D platforming. This game is called Kid Bash Super Legend. Can I just first off mention the fact that this game just looks awesome in terms of its art style? It is a really cool art style. I'm trying to words today. This game's animation is claymation. It is stop motion animation. How cool is that? I love the look of this, especially the character that you play as. I'm gonna just assume and say it's Kid Bash, and And it just visually looks very, very appealing. That's all I'm going to say. I love the look of Kid Bash. Let me just read out the Steam description for you all. In this nostalgic roguelike action platformer, awaken in a world of forgotten game characters as a hero with no memory of his past. After failing to save a nearby village from destruction, can you rise, rebuild, and rediscover the true meaning of being a hero? Kid Bash is being developed by Authentic Remixes and Fat Raccoon, and published by Fat Raccoon as well. No release date yet. It is to be announced at the moment, and there's no demo as of yet. However, just go and wishlist it because it looks awesome. I'm curious. It looks kind of like almost like a 2D Mario kind of a situation. Almost like a 2.5D kind of a thing. It just looks so cool. And yeah, like I said, it looks like it's going to be good fun. If you're into kind of platformy games, I'm new to the roguelite style of gaming. I have played a little bit of Cult of the Lamb here and there. So I have dabbled a little bit in the roguelite genre, but not too much. However, this just, because it's more of a platformer than anything, I love the look of it. Very Super Mario-esque in its maps, in its in the level design. It looks really cool. So I'm definitely keen to check this out when it is available. I hope they bring out a demo because that'd be really cool to at least, see whether or not I'm really going to vibe with it. But I just love the look of it. I would highly recommend you go and seek out the actual trailer. Just go to the Steam page and it'll have the trailer on their store page. And yeah, just watch the gameplay trailers and all that sort of stuff. It looks awesome. Kid Bash Super Legend. Definitely really keen for this one. All right, we've got another platformer here by the name of, I hope I pronounce this correctly, Kejora. And this is actually a puzzle platformer in 2D. And it's a bit of an adventure. There's a time loop curse involved. But it looks like it's going to be good fun. It's coming soon to Steam. How soon do you ask? It will be out on the 4th of September in 2025. It is being developed by Barangin Creative, published by Soft Source. And the description reads, when Kejora realizes that her peaceful village has been reliving the same day over and over, she and her friends seek out to try and uncover the origin of the mysterious time loop cursed on her village. So there you go. Very anime-esque in its style. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Studio Ghibli film, sort of similar to Spirited Away, or even, My Neighbor Totoro. It looks interesting. I kind of like the idea of the fact that you have you have the main character and then two other friends kind of going along with you on this little adventure, and they kind of help you along in terms of traversing the world. There's going to be some monsters you're going to be coming across by the looks of things. And it just looks really, really cool. And I am interested to see whether or not I'm going to enjoy this. There is a demo available right now. You can go and check that out. I am going to definitely be playing the demo for this game just because I love my platformers. I've already mentioned this before, and this is probably not gonna not be something I want to play. So I think Kejora is going to be maybe up there in terms of its story for me. So I'm really keen to check it out and see where it leads. So yeah, definitely going to play the demo for that. But like I said, it is coming in about 3 months, not too long left. So give it a wish list. Let the developers know that you are really keen on their game, and then you'll be notified when it comes out. Alrighty, it is time for a really quirky looking point and click puzzle game. And looks like it's also going to be quite funny. It's got a 2D cartoon art style, and it's called A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe. The giraffe looks absolutely adorable for just to start off with. And I think the giraffe is also a very anxious giraffe, just because it looks like they don't like being around people in like social situations, very awkward in those kind of scenarios. And I think this is going to have me giggling, but also it's going to be a little relatable because who wants to be surrounded by people? Am I right? So the description reads, A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe is a point-and-click adventure game about a giraffe attempting to live his day-to-day life while not talking to anyone. Yes! This game is being developed and published by Quail Button LLC, and it currently only has a release year, which is this year, 2025. This is kind of giving me "Thank Goodness You're Here" vibes, but maybe not so satirical, just more, but a little bit tamer in its comedy. But in terms of its like 2D art style, it's sort of similar in that respect. And yeah, it looks adorable. It's kind of like the giraffe kind of looks like the Toys R Us giraffe. Like that's what I'm thinking. That's where my brain went with this. It kind of reminds me of the Toys R Us giraffe from the ads. And yeah, I kind of like the look of this. I'm definitely excited to play A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe. There is a demo for it, so please go check it out. This is probably the first game demo that I'm going to be playing as soon as I'm done with this podcast, potentially, if I have the time. And yeah, I'm really keen just to play through the story of it all, just to see what kind of awkward social situations we're going to get the giraffe into. So yeah, very keen for this. I've got the biggest smile on my face when I first saw the trailer, and yeah, I am really interested. So go give A Week in the Life of a Social Giraffe a wish list, play the demo, just so that the developers know that you are in love with it. Keeping to the quirky comedy style of games, the next game here on my list is Guilty as Sock. Enter a chaotic courtroom where socks play lawyers, prosecutors, and judges. Use absurd evidence, craft wild arguments, and deliver verdicts in this hilarious online party game. Improvise, strategize, and shout objection, because in Guilty as Sock, chaos always wins. Now, this has been developed and published by Demon Max, and at the time of recording, it is out right now. It was released today at the time of recording, and it looks like it is going to be hilarious. It is an online multiplayer game with it's a very simulated courtroom style, but your characters are sock puppets. These are sock puppets playing all these roles in a courtroom, and there's like customization options, and it just looks like it's going to be just chaos and comedy. It looks really, really good. I would definitely love to be able to play this with friends if I can. So, given that by the way, there is a demo for this if you want to check it out. Try and get some friends together to check this out. I haven't played it yet myself, but it is in the library so that I can give it a go and hopefully maybe convince a few other people to play with me. If it's an option in the demo, it just looks like it's going to be hilarious and just entertaining. All right, this is a very entertaining looking game. So I am very curious to see how this kind of goes as a multiplayer game. That'd be really cool. I will also preface that when I was watching the showcase for the reaction video, I thought it was going to be a single player game where you play as every single character in the room, but maybe I didn't, maybe I wasn't paying attention, or it just, it wasn't, it says sue your friends, but it didn't, really click in my head that it meant that it was going to be a multiplayer. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is going to be great. Go check it out, play the demo, and yeah, play the full game because it is out right now. There's an introductory offer which won't last long, and it's under $10. So yeah, why not? It just sounds good. All right, we are going to be heading back into the simulation management style game, but with a bit more cuteness. This game is called Bobo Bay, and it is being developed and published by New Future Kids with a release date of potentially Q2 of 2026. So there's still some time before it's being released. And Bobo Bay is a pet simulation game where you collect, mash, in brackets breed, accessorize and train little creatures to compete in races and other competitions. So I feel like this game looks kind of similar to maybe a little bit of a creature collector kind of a game, very Pokemon-esque, I think. Where you collect, you find these, you discover these creatures, you adopt them as pets, and you train them for what looks like is going to be some mini games here and there, including, like it said in the description, some races. You've also got a few other, you've got some one-on-one battles happening, and you can train them in certain abilities. So it actually looks really cute. The art style is very interesting. You can also customize your little creatures as well. But yeah, I like the look of it. I'm not 100% sure if I am that keen on it, but I'm going to try out the demo. So there is a demo for Bobo Bay. Go check it out for yourself if you're interested in maybe picking this up and sort of getting an idea of what you're going to expect from the game. But yeah, it kind of looks quirky in its own little cute way. And I'm just interested to see whether or not if I'm really going to vibe with it. So that's why the demo's there. So yeah, I might check this out, see how I feel. But Bobo Bay is also on my wish list. So yeah, go check it out. Time to chill out in a fishing game. Yes, you heard me correctly. And this game is called Cast and Chill. Cast and Chill is a cozy idle fishing game where you explore serene lakes, rivers, and oceans, catch rare fish, upgrade your gear, and reel in legendary catches with your loyal pup by your side. Yay! This is being developed and published by Wombat Brawler, and it is set to be released in June of 2025. So, pretty much at the time of recording, not too far away, within the next month, essentially. And this just looks like it's going to be so chill and cozy. It is an idle game, creature collector, so because you're fishing. I hope you can pet the dog in the game because the dog is in the boat with you when you go out fishing. I just hope you can pet the dog. Like, you better be able to pet the dog. Every game that has pets or animals in it, we need to be able to pet them. This is the correct way. But just looking at its, like, just from a face value, the art's okay, hold on. I'm looking at the screenshots that's on their Steam store page. One of the pictures that popped up was a screenshot of the fisherman in the boat with the dog, and I saw a hand over the dog, meaning I think that's your cursor, and so I think that confirms that you can pet the dog. Breaking news. You can pet the dog in Cast and Chill. It looks very, very just relaxing. That's the main thing I just want to point out here. You're just going to be there catching some fish, and it says that you can also upgrade your fishing gear as well, so that you can catch, more fish, bigger fish, better fish. This doesn't really need too much explaining. If you like fishing, then I think this might be for you. There is a demo available if you'd like to check it out. So go and head over to the Cast and Chill store page on Steam and play the demo, and just have a nice relaxing time fishing with your little buddy there. All right, we are at the penultimate game on my list, and it is called Scratch the Cat, which is a 3D platformer action adventure game with a bit of a collect-a-thon mechanic in it as well. The Steam description reads, grab your headphones and step up to the turntable in Scratch the Cat, a vibrant action-adventure 3D platformer. Play as DJ Scratch, explore a sprawling musical world, fight bosses, and reclaim your stolen records. Turn up the volume and set the stage for the perfect comeback. This game is being developed and published by Flat Ponies. Release date to be announced. Now, this actually looks really cool. I love the look of this. It's going to have, I feel like the music to this game is going to be awesome, just in terms of its soundtrack. But essentially, it is a 3D platformer, and I love platformers. I'm going to keep saying this. So this definitely has caught my interest. I am keen to check it out. And just in terms of the fact that this is a DJ cat, let's go. I love me a DJ cat. So definitely going to be checking this one out. There is no demo for this, unfortunately, but hopefully there will be at some stage later in the future. But yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. Lots of exploring and collecting of things, including coins. There's boss battles as well. Doing a little parkour as well. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be good. And I am very keen for Scratch the Cat. So go and give it a wish list. Check it out for yourself. And it is currently on its way to Steam. And last, but certainly not least, the game that started off the main showcase right after PT's pre-show, we have Truth Scrapper. The description reads, you have a case to solve. Your memories reset each day, and two mysterious guides are vying for your attention. Who will you decide to remember, and who will you decide to push aside? This game is being developed and published by Insert Disc 5. And at the moment, no release date. That is to be announced for now. No demo either, but hopefully there will be soon. The gameplay trailer, the trailer for the actual game itself, the art style looks really, really stylistic. It is by the developers who created In Stars and Time. So that'll give you an idea of what to expect from like at least an art style perspective, and in terms of how this story is going to go. It's a visual novel. It's interactive. It's a point and click, and it sounds like it's going to be. You're going to have to remember a lot of things. Because I don't know in terms of the gameplay whether or not the memories will be erased from, like, say, the journal that you'll have. But I suppose we'll see. If there is a demo, that'll be really good. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to be one of those type of games where it's going to be sort of very story rich in terms of its gameplay. So I'm looking forward to actually checking this out when it is available. I myself haven't played In Stars and Time, but now that I think about it, maybe I should just go back and play it and see whether or not I like that game. But this is probably going to be a completely different story, so I don't know whether I'll enjoy that game compared to this one, but still, it's still good to at least support the developers. And just, you never know until you try whether or not you're going to enjoy a particular type of game. So, just give it a go. But yeah, Truth Scrapper, currently no release date, but go and wishlist it over on Steam so you can be notified when it is released. And there you have it, my friends. Those are the games on my wish list from the 6-1 Indie Showcase May 2025. Let me know what games you have on your wish list that came out of that showcase. Are any of the ones that I mentioned on your wish list? Are you keen on any of them? Are there ones that I didn't mention that you're keen for? Let me know. It's going to be such a great time for indie developers. I can already feel it. The one thing I will also mention is that 6-1 Indie, during their showcase, they did have a one more thing, but then they had a one more thing to their one more thing, which had me very intrigued because at the time when I was reacting to the showcase, it didn't really click exactly what it meant. But after thinking about it and after watching other people's reactions to it, I instantly realized what it meant. And 6-1 Indie essentially announced that they're now going to have a publishing sector. They've got a publishing team. 6-1 Indie Publishing. This is absolutely awesome. Like, yes, this is what we need in the game industry. We need more people who are out there ready to help boost these indie developers into the gaming sphere and just highlight them, spotlight them, boost them up so that a lot more eyes are on their games, because these people are pouring their hearts and souls into their passion projects, which is their game. So, and not to mention the fact that a lot of these people are doing it out of their own pockets. They could use all of our support all the time. This is why I try to do my own little piece of trying to spotlight these independent developers on my own YouTube channel. I am also going to be doing my best with it on the Mini Indie Van podcast that I am the host of. And I love spotlighting all of these awesome people because they're very talented, so skillful, very creative. And like I have always thought about, like, in terms of being part of a development team, but I never know what that means until I actually see the amount of work these people put into their games. And like after visiting PAX a couple of times and seeing the indie game scene, at least here in Australia, just being able to talk to the developers as well and how long it's taken them to get to a point where they can even present the games at these type of events. It's really mind-blowing to learn that a lot of these projects actually take years for them to develop. Like, there have been games that have been in development for like 3 to 4, maybe 5 years. I'm pretty sure I've heard indie games being in development for even longer than that. It's interesting to see games that have been developed in a shorter amount of time. But that doesn't mean that it's rushed. It just means that it was it just depends on the type of game that they've made, and maybe it just didn't require as much planning, or if maybe it's a small game, so it doesn't take as much effort. But even in saying that, it's still effort that they're putting into these games. It is their love. It is their passion. And I am so grateful to see that 6-1 Indie is out there advocating for these awesome developers and just showing the world that, you know, you don't need to be these multi-million-dollar companies that make these giant-ass games that cost millions of dollars and then end up scrapping them down the track because the project didn't work out in their favor because money. So I'm really grateful that they are putting themselves out there and helping out other indie game developers to just get their names out there at least. So, and in terms of helping them with like marketing and social media and just getting their games out into the world. So kudos to 6-1 Indie for creating their own publishing team. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of games they will be headlining. So huge congrats to them. And yeah, looking forward to some great awesomeness in the near future. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the Many Thoughts I Have podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. Remember that you can also comment on each episode over on Spotify, and I will read them out on the show as well. To keep up with me, you can follow me on socials at FulishFuji on Blue Sky and Instagram. If you'd like to check out my video content and more, you can head over to my website, FulishFuji.com. All the links will be in the show notes. That's it from me. Remember to look after yourself and your mental health, and happy thinking, friends.